Hi, I'm Mirabai Starr, and I am really looking forward to doing this course, this upcoming course on reunifying lover and beloved, the path of the feminine mystic. And this is a topic that has been burning in my heart for as long as I can remember. So, Teresa of Avila is one of the great exemplars of this path of fiery love, an outrageous, unbridled, wild, mystical passion, and union with the One, which results in this deep, abiding peace. So it's the annihilating fire, and it's the deep, contemplative sweetness of being present in the moment and resting in the mystery. And she exemplifies that balance. She also exemplifies the balance between action and contemplation, between being a practical, common sense, administrative genius, psychotherapeutic genius, and a deep, mystical, contemplative. How did she do this? How did she find this balance? A few years ago, after having translated a number of her books, I went to Spain and visited her original monastery of San Jose in Avila, Spain. And I wanted to speak to the sisters there, who are cloistered Carmelite nuns, about this book idea I had that would be geared toward Western women who are trying to balance an active life, a life of service in the world, with a contemplative life, so that they were cultivating their own inner landscape and a kind of equanimity, so that they could be of service in the world, right? So I wanted to talk to the nuns at Avila about this. So I walk into this ancient church. It's this little stone vestibule, and I ring the bell so that the nun on duty would come behind the grill to speak to me. This, by the way, is the same little chamber where visitors came to speak with Santa Teresa de Avila 500 years ago. So I was already, before I got there, I was already on the verge of tears. I was so moved to be in this space, right? So I ring the bell, and the sister who comes to the other side of the grill, and by the way, you can't see them. It's not that kind of grill. It's actually opaque, but it's engineered in such a way that the sound is perfectly clear, as if she were sitting in front of you. So it turns out it was the abbess of the monastery herself. And she says, "What can I do for you, mijita?" And I explained to her about this book I wanted to write, and what advice did she have for Western women about balancing a life of service and action in the world with a life of contemplation, meditation, and inner peace. And this was her response. She burst out laughing. She said, "Ay, mijita, if we knew how to do that, don't you think that we would be publicizing it far and wide?" She said, "Here we live in a cloistered convent in this beautiful place where our lives are dedicated to prayer, and we still struggle every day with how to find that balance. We have emails, we have baking, we have cleaning, we have administrative duties. The world crashes in on us even here. And our foundress, La Madre herself, Teresa of Avila, struggled with that all her life." Now, I don't find that depressing at all, or distressing. I find that very reassuring, because here we all are, doing the best we can to be of service in this beautiful broken world, and to cultivate a contemplative life so that we know how to be in the present moment, how we can create stillness and love in the midst of the most harrowing trials of this life. So that's what this course is going to be about. How do we make relevant teachings that are often hundreds of years old, from cultures maybe very different from our own, from very specific religious traditions that we may not resonate with exactly on a spiritual level? How do we mine the jewels of these mystical teachings, of these great women mystics from many different traditions, and make them relevant to our lives now, so that we can transform and be a transformative force in the world? Thank you. I hope you'll join me.